know?
So, Kobe's plane crash, right? It's just like,
damn.
dang, how old is this podcast?
All right, you guys ready?
They said Kobe's gonna be we're good.
Started.
Do you like edit these two, or does it just go like straight up like what?
It's live,
However
dude.
it's recorded, you just put it
And
up.
then it's also
Okay.
recorded,
What's
so
up?
after like a certain time, I'll put it up on YouTube and Spotify and Apple. But it's live on Twitch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the K Podcast. We're back over here with our good friend Francis Reyes, aka Slavamed Patenko, on the Discord community.
What's happening? What's happening, y'all?
Mr. Sports Picks.
You know, I try to have fun with it.
Francis is he kind of moderates the sports gambling section and the sports section in our community. So we're going to talk about basketball, we're going to talk about sports gambling, and just go from there. So what's up, Francis? What's going on, man?
Nothing much, dude. Just living life, you know, working and working.
For sure.
Sounds like my life.
Francis also is a business owner, and he owns Lobsterdamus.
Yes, sir. Little seafood, lobsters pop-up stand.
Why do you hate lobster so much, dude? Why do you want to like kill him and shit?
Because it tastes good, dog. Shit.
Just put him on blast and shit. No, but like, yeah, go into like the origins of.
Secretly, this is a PETA.
Yeah.
Just a PETA intervention.
Give us like the origin story of Lobsterdamus, because it's specifically lobster, right? You guys don't sell like fish or squid. So like, yeah, why lobster, man?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Lobster is
lobster.
fucking like high class. I feel like top tier dining or cuisine. I mean, like you don't get lobster in like McDonald's or like Wendy's or Arby's. I feel like Arby's is the top tier.
I wish.
Food too, you know.
Dude,
Let me get a McLobster.
I need the shit out there.
Yeah, man. I mean, it started like when I was a kid, bro. Like my pops has been in the seafood import export game since I was young. So one of his jobs was working for a dude that was exporting lobsters to China like crazy. So during family parties, like, or during the holidays, his boss was just like, "Hey, take a few lobsters for the family during the holidays," and like, is that cool? And brought him to the house, and my Uncle Ramon just said he had like a little cooking background, so we started just splitting them and throwing them on a charcoal grill, and that was that. So like our family parties, Christmas, Thanksgiving, we had like all the Filipino classics, kare kare, lumpia, pancit, and then you'll see like a platter of grilled lobster too. So that's kind of like how that specific dish. I mean, we didn't invent grilled lobster, but my uncle just liked to grill it and we liked to eat it. And then 2014 came along, and my uncle and my other business partner, Lonnie, had the idea of selling it at the night markets, and they asked me and my cousin Johnny to, ask for their help because we had a background in the hospitality industry. So we helped them out, and then they asked us. I mean, it was popping, dude. Like at that time, we didn't have any other dish except a grilled lobster. You only get a whole or a half. And at the time, it was like $20 for a whole lobster, 12 for like a half. And dude, our line was like fucking long. So after that one event, we're like, dude, I think we're onto something. So we just kept doing more and more events, practicing our operation. And 8 years later, here we are. We pop up in New York, San Francisco, all over Southern California now.
Damn, 8 years already, dude. That's crazy.
I know, right? Time flies, bro. Shit.
So what is it about lobster that makes it like you can't buy cheap lobster, dude? You know what I mean? Like, is it scarce? Is it hard to?
Yeah.
I mean, you can.
Yeah, I mean, it's the type of lobsters we buy are from the East Coast, so specifically Maine. You can also buy in like Boston. You can get it off the shores of Connecticut or even east coast of Canada, Nova Scotia. But we try to get our lobsters from Maine because they have the best practices as far as keeping everything sustainable. But that's very important to the health and life of other lobsters. So, not to say those other places don't, but we think that Maine does the best. So that's why it's pretty pricey because it's only found in a specific region of the world. Um, and and keep in mind, like these lobsters when they're born, they're like the size of like your fingernail. So it takes about 7 years for it to grow to 1 pound, and 1 pound is like pretty small still. So that's why it's very important to keep it sustainable because some people are out there shady and try to farm it, or if there's a pregnant lobster they catch, you're supposed to tag it and throw it back in the ocean. But some people don't practice that all the time. So that's why it's expensive because there's all these regulations and practices of how to correctly fish for lobster legally versus other fish. I mean, there's other ways you can do it, but I mean, some guys just throw out a fucking net and then there you go. But with lobsters, you have to throw out a certain type of cage so it allows the smaller lobsters to escape. That way, only 1 pound or heavier are in the cage or in that trap. Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, yeah, man. So. Yeah, I mean, I think the whole point of us is like lobster there's always like a connotation of it being like a high-end dining, but since we were eating at a family parties, like it didn't seem like high-end dining. So we wanted to like do it in a way where it was like street food. I mean, obviously it's going to cost more than a taco or a street dog, but we want to embody that taco street food culture and vibe into a plate of lobster. So this is our style.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Do the providers, do they just go out and catch lobsters, or they catch other shit and you just buy the lobsters from them? Because that's what
for them.
product is.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, I mean, these lobster purveyors, they just have their own boats, but they process too. So sometimes they'll cook lobsters and then offer customers cooked frozen lobsters. They'll process them where they take all the meat out. You can just buy like bags of claw meat ready to go. That's what a lot of people that serve lobster rolls, they just buy like the claw meat ready to go. So they just open up the bag and cook it in butter and it's ready to serve it. So yeah, they have all kinds of products from lobsters, but they all range in different sizes as well. It depends on what you're looking for. Most of these guys in the East Coast, Maine, Boston, you want it, they got it.
I'm curious, man, because I kind of want to go on a boat with them and just kind of be part of the.
Dude, that's one of my. Yeah, man. I mean, that's kind of like I want to do one of these days. Like, I go out to Maine, and I think some companies offer that as like a service, kind of like a tourist attraction thing. Hop on a boat with them, and you can kind of catch some lobsters with them, and then cook it and eat it the way they would. So, right. Yeah, man. I mean, it's also expensive because it's a grueling occupation. So, especially during the wintertime when the seas are rough and choppy.
Deadliest catch.
Not a lot of similar to deadliest catch. Like not a lot of boats are going out because they don't want to fucking die. So there's not as much supply, and that's part of it too. The lobsters always change in price from a week to week basis, depending on the season and the holidays are going on.
So is there like a surge price?
This is the most insightful.
Like,
yeah, dude. Like if there's
it's like lobster's gonna be like $1,000 a pound now because
not like £1,000 a pound, but like you'll see it like 14 a pound when it's normally like it could be like anywhere from 8 to 11. Yeah, man. Like during Chinese New Year, that shit surges up too. Those motherfuckers like they'll buy like plane fulls of lobster to ship it out to China. So every time February comes around, when Chinese New Year, like we already know, like shit, it's gonna be expensive. We gotta adjust our prices for for that, at least a little bit, just so we're not losing money.
Huh.
Do most of the lobsters in like the world come from America? Because that was surprising to me that America exports lobsters to China.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like it's only found in. That's why I was mentioning earlier. It's only found in a certain region of the world, which is why it creates a sort of like scarcity when it's not readily available. So yeah, man. I mean, China. You can't find it in China, that's for sure. Damn, you can find like spiny lobsters and different.
Got 'em, bro.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, dude. Like even when Donald Trump kind of stopped everything trading with China, we loved it because that drove the price down. But it kind of also, like, on the flip side, it sucked for a lot of the fishermen because China's like, they'll wire that shit to you before they even get the lobsters. So that's like guaranteed money. So it was, yeah, I was reading stories about how that decision by Trump to stop trade with China actually fucked over a lot of fishermen in the northern eastern of our country. Yeah. So, but as a buyer, it was like, ooh. Yeah.
Good thing you didn't have like a. Good thing you weren't in China. Shit.
Yeah, fuck that, dude.
Shrimps.
My lobster's American.
We're Burgerdamus right now.
Damn. Yeah, dude. Yeah, man, that's pretty much the
Pizza-damus. Fuck it.
anything you want, Damus, right now.
Yeah. Anything but seafood damus.
That's fucking funny, bro.
Imagine.
That sucks though, because like, I mean, this is gonna be a perfect segue to NBA, but even NBA fucking gets on their knees for China, you know, or bends over backwards for China.
Oh yeah.
And for the fishermen to lose that market, dude, that's like hella money.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
But the Rockets were going to be the Houston Lobsters.
Oh, shit.
They got cloud, man.
That's funny.
Houston Lobsters.
So, and let's just, because it's a cool story about how they acknowledge your company, but the name Lobsterdamus came from the DJ Flosstradamus, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I was probably drunk and high when I thought about the name. It just flowed out well, and I told my partner, "Yo, let's just run this."
I thought Francis had a vision and said like Nostradamus, like Lobsterdamus. Flosstradamus.
That's it. It's funny that people think that they come up to us, "Oh, you guys got it from Nostradamus." Then it's like some old white dude. I'm like, actually, no, it's like from one of our favorite DJs, Flosstradamus. And he's looking at me like, who the fuck is Flosstradamus?
It's not that deep, bro.
But then I'm like, yeah, it's a play on words with both. Yeah.
I had a vision one night and I felt like Nostradamus.
You should just run with that shit, bro. Just be like, yeah, I just had a vision of the future, and like lobster wasn't
like
really
the Twin Towers. I had that vision too.
You could get lobster as a street food, you know. So
we started doing TV commercials. You could have that was
lobster didn't need to be fancy dining; it could be street food, and that was my vision.
Behold my vision.
I see it. And I tasted.
That's funny, dude.
Yeah, man, that's pretty much what we do. We don't have a restaurant or anything.
You don't want a restaurant, dude. Fuck that. I was in that business, and that shit sucks.
Yeah, man.
I mean, it doesn't suck to like make the food. It's just that overhead sucks, man. Like some days you just try to break even, and that's a victory, and that sucks.
Yeah. Dude, everything to run a restaurant is expensive, bro. Like the utilities, like gas, water.
You gotta get staff
running.
Yeah.
I mean, we need staff still too, but
your overhead's a lot lower than owning like an actual spot, you know. So you can afford the staff, but when you get a physical location, now you got rent. Like you said, now you got bills. Now you got to run football on Sunday.
Now you gotta add alcohol. You gotta buy a liquor license to make up for that too.
Yeah,
they had like a Filipino restaurant, right, in Lake Forest.
Yeah, so that was cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember like your uncle would come sometimes.
Yeah, you remember telling me that.
Yeah, so I mean, that was even like most of the times really was just trying to break even, because the rent was high. And then of course your customers are Filipinos and they're fucking cheap. That's just Filipinos for you, man. Being Filipino.
Disco.
It's funny. They come in and they're like, "Oh, you're Filipino?" I was like, "No shit, motherfucker. You're in a Filipino restaurant." It's like, and they'll be like, "Oh, so is there a discount?" It's like, "No, motherfucker. Do you see white people going to In-N-Out? Like, hey, dude, you're white. Let me get a discount on that burger, bro." It's like, what the fuck? It's only the Filipinos that do that shit, man.
I know, man. Or it's like the tita's like, "Hey, I want the biggest one," and like, "Tita, I have all the same size. I buy a quarter pound lobsters. They're all the same size, Tita."
Yeah.
I don't have a 3 pound lobster just hiding for you.
I don't have a secret menu, lady.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
You want a 3 pound lobster? It's not going to be this price.
I can get you 4 lobsters, 1 pound, 1.25 pounds each.
How about you buy 3 of these?
Yeah.
Sometimes they get offended,
and then they
too.
get mad at you.
Yeah, when you don't.
Yeah, no, they get mad at you. He's like, "Wow,
I
Just wait out like that, man.
may attitude."
Ay, walang Filipino discount dito.
Just water.
Yeah.
Just one water.
They only support you when you get a discount. It's funny. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You take out.
No, but like we get that
water
all
bottle,
the time.
You take out a water bottle. You're like, no, just a cup of water. 1 cup of water. Damn. Hey, but what's
Filipinos, man? But you gotta love it though. You gotta love being Filipino.
Oh yeah, it's cool. But then you get those weird ones. So crab mentality. That's what they call it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, crab mentality. Yeah, it's whack.
The crazy thing about Filipinos though is there's a whole fucking range and like gradient of us. You know what I mean? Because not only are we
Light skin, dark skin.
Look at this stream right now. We're going brown, white, brown.
Yeah.
straight up, right?
Look at that brown gradient.
I feel like, and would you guys agree the spectrum is like more Spanish, and then Pacific Islander to Chinese ish?
Yeah,
right. We're a
even
mix
got some
of all
Indian
that, right?
ones.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, just with the history of the Philippines, you had all these, Chinese, Spaniards in our country like a long time ago. So there's definitely a mix down the line for sure. That's why we get like different, like you said, different gradients. But that's the thing, like with Philippines, like I guess the crab mentality, like back then, if you were like really dark, you were considered like on the lower end of the scale because the Spaniards instilled that kind of mentality when they colonized us. So it's crazy to see that even like my parents, or I don't know about you guys, but my parents definitely, they're not like that 100%, but I could see like it like coming out once in a while when I was younger. I think now growing up in America, they've learned that like, Filipinos got to stick together as a culture, because you see like Japanese, Koreans, it don't matter like what part of Korean you are, what region you're from, you're just Korean. But for some reason, Filipinos, at least back then, if you're from a certain region or a certain area, you're like frowned upon, or if you're from a certain region, you're like looked up upon. So
or you speak a different dialect. They're like, he's Ilocano.
It's like, why does it matter?
What my grandma said, man. She's like, "Oh, I'm excited."
Hey, if you're North Korean though, that's probably something though. You know what I mean?
North Korea hate everybody. I think that's the most racist place in the world. It's not America, it's North Korea. They hate everybody.
Yeah, sure.
Damn.
You got motherfuckers trying to dig tunnels to leave that place.
Coming from like I just came from Hawaii, right? I feel like Philippines could have been like Hawaii,
Chances are you were born in North Korea.
but
Hold up.
now we're just like it's Hawaii if it was overpopulated and they just stopped giving a fuck. You know what I mean? You guys agree with that? Like there's some place in the Philippines that's beautiful, like Palawan, right? I don't know if Boracay is still beautiful.
Yeah.
But I mean, from what I remember, it was
I
beautiful.
haven't been in a while, man.
Mm-hmm. But then you go to some places and it's like, shit, this shit's like third world country, you know?
Yeah. It's like this shack is somebody's house.
Yeah.
Oh man, where I used to live, like you had like a nice house, like it was a nice neighborhood. Like it wasn't, I wouldn't say like a suburb or anything, but everyone had a house, right? And at the end of the street, you had this person who was living in like a shack, and like just you could see it was a makeshift house. And I remember every time we'd ride our bikes down that street, we'd all look away because he'd be chilling at his door, but his door had like holes on it, so it looked like Swiss cheese. But you see his dick hanging out because he's just chilling butt naked.
What the fuck?
And like, but he wasn't gonna do it. He wasn't like chasing kids with it. He was just chilling at his door. It's his house, whatever.
That's what kind of clothes, man.
But like his dick just chilling outside one of the holes, and I don't know. It's just like maybe he's trying to air it out. It's like, yo, air that shit out somewhere else, bro. What the fuck?
It's hot in the Philippines, man. That's probably the only air that come through.
Yeah, no, Philippines is a different vibe, man. It's fun though, and I miss it. The last time I was there I was like 10.
Oh, dude, you gotta go back, dude. It's fun. I was there in 2019. Like the food's good. Like when you go out, it's just super fun. When I went out there, y'all know Ryan, so he took me around.
Mm-hmm.
I went to all the clubs and bars to introduce me to his friends. It was like super good time. It's hella cheap, like bro. Like I
You're
bought
fucking
ball
out there,
and it was like fucking like $150. I was like, hello. Give me another one.
Yeah. How much more y'all want? I got it. No, you're a king out there. The funny part is when you got to the Philippines, every time you go there with some shit, you're never coming back with like you can wear some nice shoes and be like, hey, let me have your shoes. Like your family's always asking for your shit.
Yeah.
That's why when my brother went, like he's like, hey, let me borrow some shoes. I want to rock it out there. I was like, you already know what's gonna happen. You ain't coming back with my shoes.
That's funny. Yeah, where I used to live.
I have technical difficulties right now. My AirPods keep.
It's cool. You still sound good. So either way, I think we're good.
All right.
But yeah, where I used to live in the Philippines, we lived in like a gated estate, right? And we lived like right by the fence.
Oh, nice.
And on the fence, right on the other side of it was like a squatter area. So, dude, I feel like if aliens came down to Earth and they just had to land on one planet to get a little taste of how it is around the whole planet, Philippines is a good one to go to.
Bro, there's no middle class, dude. Like it's very slim. You're either rich or poor. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's not even poor. It's poor as fuck.
Yeah, yeah, man. It's so sad, dude. Fucking government over there is corrupt as hell, dude. Fuck.
Hell yeah. My cousin's husband was like a mayor wherever he was, and the fucked up part was my uncle was actually running mayor for that place, and her husband ended up running against him. I was like, wow, this is drama.
Damn.
Family drama.
I was in there, I was like, and so he would always tell me, he's like, hey, if you ever come here, you're going to have security. You're going to, I was like, armed security. I was like, that sounds fucking cool. But it also sounds scary at the same time.
Yeah. Like, why do I need armed security for?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to eat lechon
and maybe go Air Force One. I don't know.
Hey, so for those that don't know, what is Air Force One?
Y'all want an explanation for Air Force One? Okay, that's.
Now, should we keep that on the low or what?
Air Force One's the Air Force Base. What else? And it's shoes.
Yeah, if you don't know, then sorry.
Yeah, sorry for you.
If you don't know, now you kind of know.
No, it's a shoe.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nelly rapped about it.
Yeah.
That's what he was really rapping about. You didn't need new two purrs. Two purrs meant something else.
That's funny, bro.
Hey, so you were telling me you read
I
a
heard-
book. You read a book about Filipinos in basketball, right? About their passion for basketball.
Yeah, I haven't finished it yet, but it's called what was it called? Let me look that shit up. But the author he was like a college basketball player. He just loved the sport, but he was self-aware that he wasn't going to make it to like the NBA, but he's still very much in love with the sport. So
Eric Spoelstra?
no, I forget his name.
Filipino.
I forgot the exact story, but I think he knew someone that was playing in the Philippines, and it was like, "Oh, why are you playing in the Philippines?" And he kind of explained to him that, dude, like the Philippines national sport is basketball, and he was like, "Yo, I gotta check this out." So when he went there, he kind of learned about the history of how basketball there is like their national sport, and when America colonized the Philippines, part of the colonization process was teaching them like English and religion and all that stuff, and also part of that curriculum was physical education. So they taught them all the American sports, but basketball clicked because it's so damn hot in the Philippines. You can play that shit inside. I mean, granted, you still find like outdoor parks and stuff like that with hoops and across the Philippines. But when I guess back then they only had gyms, and that's what the people gravitated towards. So, they just loved basketball, and then from there, I think before it became like a full international sport, the Philippines was the second best team as in the Olympics. After America, because the Americans just taught that sport to them. And obviously the sport grew and it kind of reached its roots to other nations, but it's crazy how that sport is like. We've all been there, like
Yeah.
people wearing NBA jerseys of their favorite teams or players. That's crazy. I mean,
And they play in fucking chinelas and shit.
yeah, dude. Like,
In the
bro, like when I went there,
anything.
yeah, it's crazy, man. I mean, when I was out there when I was a kid, my cousin was like, "Yo, let's play basketball outside." I'm like, "Yo, let's do it." And he's like, "All right, let me change my shoes." He changed his house slippers to his quote unquote like his basketball slippers. It was
Love
like
that.
he went from the thong slippers to like his Nike slides. I was like, "Damn, okay, it's like that." And he was small, and I was like, "No, this is crazy." And man, it's bugging me. I gotta look this up. It's called like. Yeah, look up the name of the book so y'all can.
Yeah, where I was living, there was a basketball court right in front of our house,
Mhm.
and that shit was popping all day and all night. And people would just be fighting. It was like- and I would just be watching it. And every time I get a chance to play, that shit was wild. But then people would be fucking fighting out there. I remember the funny stories like this guy started throwing his slipper at someone.
Yeah, right.
He's like, "Oh, bound!" I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, the book's called Pacific Rims, and
Ooh,
and it's
Not
by
the movie. Yeah.
not the porno Pacific Rim job, but
Not the other version of
yeah,
Pacific
not
Rim.
the, yeah.
a good one, by the way. If you're
Yeah, that's interesting though. But
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
like I
I
mean,
mean, you like look
You know
at
how crazy like basketball's so huge in the Philippines. Like even like there's even like a gay community that plays that shit. You guys see those videos?
oh yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, and then like you even have the gay refs, like and they do all these like it's funny. And I'm like, I want to watch that shit live, you know?
Like, dude,
'cause-
I made the shot. He did like a cartwheel to a splits, and
Yeah.
and I was like, "Yo, that's funny."
yeah, and like I would definitely want to go watch that shit. Like you see the ref like make a call and like he dances and does body rolls. It's like whoa.
In each barangay, they have their own leagues, and it's like it gets serious.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it's crazy. That's how big basketball is. Even the gay guys are coming out there and saying we're gonna play this shit.
Yeah. I mean, even look at us, dude. Like, fucking, like that was the first sport I learned. Like, my dad put a ball in my hand, and I fell in love with it.
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, I'm sure I can't speak for you. I'm sure it was along the line as growing up.
Yeah, it's always been basketball for me. And then obviously in high school, I ended up playing football just because there was no cuts.
Yeah.
I think basketball was the first.
But no, I mean,
sport
I
tried to
like
master.
football a lot too, though.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Man,
But I mean, I think every like kid was inspired by Michael Jordan and like Kobe and all that shit, you know. So those were my inspirations. I remember watching Michael Jordan go on that first three-peat, and as a kid, you're like, dude, that's fucking dope. You know, everyone was a Bulls fan.
Right.
100%.
Yeah, I think my first memory of basketball, because basketball, I loved doing when I was young too, and I think it was the first sport I tried to master. You know, that I really fucking Mamba mentality on.
Yeah.
My first memory of it is Michael Jordan. You know,
Oh yeah.
so I feel like it's rare
We
for
grew
someone.
up in the 90s, man.
Yeah. It's rare for someone to, I mean it's based on our age. If you ask someone else, it might be Magic. It might be fucking Wilt or whatever. But Michael Jordan was the one.
Yeah.
And
But how amazing is it in our era? We have in our era, we grew up with fucking Michael Jordan and Kobe. How fucking wild is that? You know, like two of the best fucking shooting guards to ever grace the game, and we were alive to see both of them.
Yeah, it's crazy.
do you think we'll ever
Like it set the standard for
you think we'll ever come
Yeah,
across
I'm sorry,
another,
Joe, go ahead.
do you think we'll come across another player like that in our lifetime, or you think that was like a lucky binary that came about, you know what I mean?
I mean, technically, we got LeBron, right? It's just the hard thing about LeBron is this fool's like,
fuck, bro. All right, let's kick this fool out.
no, that's the closest thing we have right now. LeBron is like, take all that bullshit aside. LeBron's fucking good as hell, but like he just uses it in such a way that pisses you off. It's like, dude, why the fuck are you flopping? You could go hard in the fucking paint and you want to fucking go on the floor and cry about it, you know? Like that's just the annoying part. Like ever since he left Cleveland, that's when I kind of just lost respect. And I was like, wow, what a bitch. You know, but Miami LeBron was crazy. I'm not even going to front about that. Miami LeBron was fucking...
Bruh.
Say what you want, but that guy was going hard. But then after that, I was just like...
I mean, as a Laker fan, I was I was really happy when he ended. I mean, I wasn't the biggest fan of LeBron, but when you come to the Lakers, how could I say no? And
Yeah.
he won the bubble chip, so it is what it is.
It's an asterisk like Barry Bonds.
Yeah, I'll count it though. There's a banner at Staples Center whenever I go.
I mean, it counts, right? But at the end of the day, it's one of those things where it's in the back of your head. It's like, well, really.
Would it
I
count?
mean, you can say that with like. It's funny how we get so critical with all these chips because you could go down the line on a lot of chips and say there's asterisks there, there's asterisks there. Like, are you going to give asterisks to Bill Russell because he played in the fucking 1960s against plumbers and shit?
Yeah,
But
it's true.
his number is on the patch of every jersey this year.
Yeah.
After his pass, so it's like we can sit and talk all day, but at the end of the day, those are the greats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what we have right now. LeBron is the closest we have to something that great. But even then, there's just something about LeBron where everyone's just like, and it's weird, you know, because take away all his bullshit and his like drama queen shit. He's a good fucking basketball player.
Yeah.
But
He's
it
undeniable.
just sucks that there's so much shit overshadowing it.
Yeah.
Like Steph Curry, I have him up there, but I honestly kind of get bored of watching that guy's like, here comes another three. It's it, you know?
I mean, he treats the game, dude. Like, I think Jarrell can say this too with coaching kids. Like these kids, I mean, I coached for a little bit. These kids just want to shoot threes. Like they don't even want to learn how to make a layup for like a jump stop.
Bro. Ain't no layup lines. Ain't no layup lines no more.
Yeah. I was like,
No, man.
what's going on, man? Like, you gotta tell these. I mean, I got mad. I was like, yo, you gotta make a layup before you even attempt a three.
Yeah. I think the last best like player to even like drive to paint, to be honest, was Derrick Rose. And you might think I'm a little biased because I'm a Bulls fan, but dude, that guy was fucking crazy. Just how he would get into fucking paint. But I remember I would always watch him go into paint. I was like, dude, this guy's knees are gonna give out sometime, and then it did.
You jinxed him, bro. You jinxed him.
Adidas jinxed him.
Were you in a coma during the James Harden reign? That guy can get
No,
into
James Harden was-
paint, bro. That guy.
Yeah, but how many times did he step in with the ball in his hand though?
Yeah, James Harden's crazy.
But
James Harden was good though, but that dude would take so many extra steps. You're like, well, how do you get away with that shit?
It's a fact.
The thing about
that's why they made it.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead, Joel. You got it.
Handle.
I was just gonna say that they made the gather rule because so many dudes are taking an extra step. Because before it's just 2 steps after your dribble, but now, like after you dribble, you get 1 step, and then when the ball goes and their other hand touches the ball, then you get another 2 steps. So and that's only in the NBA. Like you do that, you try to do that shit at your local men's league, like they're gonna call it travel.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I know dudes at LA Fitness will get pissed off about that shit.
What is that? Like, what is that though? How was he able to exploit that? Is that like a area that they just forgot about, didn't really pay attention to, or did he find like a glitch that's like, shit, I can get away with it?
I think he found a glitch. Like him and LeBron kind of like found a glitch.
The crab walk.
I think I think you take your dribble at a certain pace, and with their athleticism going so fast, it's hard to catch like in real time. But of course, when we slow down the replay, we're gonna see that shit. But then even me, like when they do it real quick, I was like, was that a travel? I don't know. And then like the replay comes out, I was like, yo, it was a travel. But so now they're kind of adjusting that rule now to like let it flow without anyone fucking shit, because it's like it's in the rule book now.
It's kind of hard to catch, like you said, because everyone's so fucking fast now. You know, it's just, and you got LeBron, and I think everyone's just so focused because LeBron gets fouled a lot, so they're watching for someone to foul him rather than him traveling.
Yeah, 100%. Or same with James Harden. Like they're watching for he figured out a way to bait guys to foul him, and refs aren't even catching that extra step that he was taking.
But remember this season, people were starting to not give him that. Like the refs would see him do that, and they wouldn't give him that call.
I mean, they like last year. That's when they changed it. So like, they're trying to bait it, and now see how it's crazy how like players are finding glitches or little like gray areas, and they take advantage of it, and then the NBA will change it so it makes the game a little bit cleaner or to how they want it to be. So yeah, that's crazy.
I guess that's been
like
going
before
on from
Kobe
the
used
start,
to,
right? Like dunking. Nobody ever dunked before, and then some fool's like, bam! They're like, damn, I've never seen that before.
I know, right? Imagine just like playing basketball your first time, and then you finally meet players that can really dunk in the 1950s, and you see that shit like, yo,
you close out.
He just knew.
Imagine like those dudes playing Wilt Chamberlain, and they're like, bruh, what are you even doing?
He's that much taller than everybody.
When you guys started playing basketball, what was something that you guys were like obsessively trying to work on? What was something that you said, I want to fucking perfect that? What was it? Because some people are like, oh, I want to perfect my shooting, it's my driving, my handling. But what was something that you guys started like saying, I want to get that down?
I mean, definitely my mid-range shot. I was when I seen Kobe and MJ like perfect that, I wanted to perfect mid-range shot. I mean, I'm a better mid-range shooter than I am a 3-point shooter just because of that. Like when I seen Kobe and MJ just not even those fadeaways, it was just like coming off a screen and the defender sagging off, and you have like 2 feet in front of you, just pull up in their face, and you can't really miss it if you do it right.
I think Steph Curry's kind of taken away from that attention from the mid-range shooters, because mid-range is very underrated. Like DeMar DeRozan's fucking killer from mid-range.
He's nice.
Yeah, I love watching him play. Even before he was on the Bulls, like I loved watching him play with the Raptors. I was like, dude, this guy's shot's nice.
Yeah, I know his footwork is on point.
Yeah.
What about you, Joe? What did you try to like perfect when you first started in the game? What was like
when I first?
What were you trying? You're like a street baller with them hot sauce handles.
When I first touched a basketball
with a Spider-Man suit,
I would try to perfect my tomahawk dunk, bro. Off the backboard tomahawk dunk. But I never got there, bro.
On the little Tykes court, right?
Shit, dude, basketball's stupid anyways. No, but for real, like, it was a street ball, you know. Like, so I think Allen Iverson. I think I gravitated toward Allen Iverson before I did Kobe. I ended up becoming like a diehard Kobe fan later, like 24 era. You know, Francis and I would go back and forth back then because I was riding with the T-Mac side over the Kobe side when it was
Yeah.
8 versus
Yeah.
1, you know?
E-Mac.
Yeah.
So
The 2K battles was always Team Mac versus Kobe.
bro, I remember, I at the time I was playing NBA Live, right? And Francis played 2K, and the first time I played 2K,
Fuck, I haven't heard NBA Live in so long.
I was like, damn, this shit's crazy. Like the mechanics is so much more realistic, and the simulation
right.
seems
NBA
more.
NBA Live was on like hate shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You would find like
A shot stick was a game changer.
right.
Yeah, like just the AI, like you would like move the ball and they would cut, or like someone would go to the corner. It's just like versus NBA Live, I feel like it was just random movement. You just had to like
It was too arcadey, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, but
For me, like when I was trying to do it, I was always about form. Like I wanted to work on the shooting form. Like I've always liked watching Michael Jordan hit these pretty shots in people's faces and do these turnaround shots. It was just butter. And Reggie Miller, I loved watching him shoot. It's like, dude, that guy's nice with it. And Ray Allen's shot was nice. So those were like, because I always like watching that, and then you see a shot like Sean Mary, and you're like, what the fuck is that?
I thought that was what you were trying to shoot.
Yeah,
like.
dude, Sean.
I'm just kidding.
I mean, in the beginning, it probably looked as bad, but I mean, I would always, and I guess that's why I also was a Kobe hater, because I always see him doing moves like MJ. I was like, this motherfucker's copying MJ. What the fuck? But at the end of the day, I was a fan of Kobe. I just didn't like the Lakers. That was just me. But Kobe's shot was like probably one of my favorite forms ever.
That commercial of Kobe, like with the people hating on him, and he kind of conducts them like an opera. When it comes to music,
Yeah, that's a good
one of the
commercial.
best like depictions of his career.
Yeah. I like the one with Kanye. What the fuck does that mean, Kobe Bryant?
Are you the same animal or and a different piece or some shit?
Yeah, the same. What the fuck does that mean, Kobe Bryant?
You're welcome.
Welcome.
But going back to the Steph Curry stuff, and kids doing it, one thing I do appreciate though is, I mean, as a kid, you have shitty mechanics, right? You shoot from your knees and you just chuck that shit up. But with kids practicing from throwing it up there, they're a little more advanced now because they kind of learned the momentum of the ball and getting it, with good form or somewhat of a good form into the basket from a far distance compared to like us, which is layups.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, like at the end of the day, when they go pro, they're gonna fucking do layup lines. You know what I mean? So layups are something that they're gonna have to work on. But already having the shot mechanics, I feel like that's why now we're seeing crazy ass Trey Youngs and like, I mean, John Morant's not really a shooter like Trey Young is, but like you're seeing these kids shoot from like LaMelo Ball. You know what I mean? Full pulled up from half court after the tip off, like that's one of the most popular clips, but in over the whole country, probably the world, there's a lot of high school kids doing that shit. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, because everyone's always all about, oh shit, he hit that shit from there. Like it's no longer, oh, he broke his ankle, fucking did a reverse.
I think to add to that though, I mean, I do appreciate what Steph Curry did because it allows, because for me, like I already knew like after 8th grade, like I'm not making the NBA. Like I was very self-aware of that, so I just wanted to hoop just to have fun, and like my goal was just go to varsity and find my role. But because I wasn't like focusing on shooting, I was just like doing mid-range stuff. But now Stephen Curry is like, it allows kids that aren't super athletic to give them a shot. Like, okay, if I just work on my shooting, I can find a role on a team, and like to improve everything else, obviously you got to work on that. But I think it kind of gives them hope as a kid, because even me, like I was seeing guys dunking, I'm like, I hope I get to like 6'3", 6'2".
Fucking doing,
so I can dunk a little.
Doing calf raises and shit.
Yeah, bro. Like I was squatting like a motherfucker, like box jumping, like shit. I can barely just touch the rim. But I mean, I think that on the flip side, that's what That's what Steph Curry has brought. I think it's opening it up more, as more approachable. You don't have to be tall and athletic. It's like, okay, like I may not be the most I might not be the most athletic or the tallest, but I can find my niche, and if my niche is shooting, so be it. I'm gonna try to make it on a team or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's cool that you said that because it adds a different perspective. Because I didn't think of it that way either. I just thought, I was like, God damn it, here's goes Steph Curry shooting. Now everyone's fucking shooting. But you're right. Now every kid's like, you know what? I can't dunk, but I can shoot.
Yeah,
And I think that's a good thing to kind of give a new line of kids to be inspired to play the game, because everyone's looking at it as like, fuck, I can't dunk. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I can't do that shit.
I mean, like when I was 8th grade, like fuck, I was like, I was telling myself like I can't dunk. Like, there's no way I'm gonna make the NBA. Like,
Yeah.
my dad was 5. My dad's 5'5". I'm lucky I'm 5'10". Like,
Yeah.
there's no. But even then, like, I gotta be like 6'4", 6'5" to like I guess
Yeah.
like nice dunk.
And even the only ones that made the NBA that are like our height at 5'10" was like what, Aaron Brooks, Nate Robinson, and they
Yeah.
look tiny on the court.
Yeah, but they're like super athletic too. Like Nate
And Nate
Robinson.
Robinson, he dunks. Yeah, he fucking remember he wore the cape and was Crypto Nate and fucking dunked that shit.
Dunked over Dwight Howard. That's insane.
Yeah.
That's like super athletic ability.
But Aaron Brooks, he had handles. So and Rafer Alston, he was pretty quick with it. That was so all these Eddie House got smacked by Rafer Alston.
How tall is
Muggsy Bogues too.
How tall is Lou Will?
Z Bones.
I think Lou Will's like 6 feet tall.
Yeah, he's like a
That
6
guy's
footer. Yeah,
probably the
he's just lank.
nicest.
He's just skinny as fuck.
The nicest short man, bro, in the NBA. Lou Will.
Lou Will is nice.
I like Aaron Brooks though too. Damn, I haven't heard that name in a while, but he was nice.
Aaron Brooks gave Lakers problems back then. I was like, "Fuck this motherfucker, man! Why are we in Game 7 against Aaron Brooks?"
Little Chris Rock. That's what he looked like for me.
Yeah, he did, right?
Yeah, he was.
The cool thing about coaching kids, though, besides just seeing people trying to emulate Steph Curry, was I coached a summer camp one time and I saw this kid. He was wearing James Harden. And I'm a James Harden fan, so I was like, all right, let's see this guy's game. And seeing kids play like James Harden, because, you know, James Harden, the way he plays the game, he kind of reacts, you know. He doesn't just run his game. He'll like,
it's all
counters, right? He just counters and counters. And seeing kids be more aware of the game instead of just like running their shit like Russell Westbrook style, you know what I mean? It's fucking sick. It's like, damn, this kid's gonna be baller, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, these new wave of kids coming up, I mean, it's gonna just get more talented, I feel like. I mean, you got your YouTube video. I mean, like, you know, drill, like we play basketball. We never really did drills like that. We just wanted to play fives all day long and just work on shit through the pickup game or through the scrimmage. But now you got like trainers working on a skill for like an hour and then another skill for another hour. And then you go into a scrimmage to work on it. It's pretty crazy.
Right. Yeah, and they have like different brands. Like trainers have like, oh, you want to work on your handles or like, you want to work on your shooting. And they're more accessible than they were back then with us, you know, because with social media and stuff, parents can just be like, oh, hey, I want Jimmy to go ball out like Kyrie Irving, you know? It's a one of the best ones doing is like J Law Ball or whatever, right? Out of Irvine.
Yeah.
I think that's his name.
There's a bunch of them. Yeah, he's one of the names that come to mind.
I like Lethal Shooter. That guy's
Lethal Shooter is dope. There's another dude named like DJ Sackman or something.
Yeah,
but
that guy's
fast, bro. Super. Like the way he explains everything, his methodology and the train of thought going into like a simple move when he's teaching it to his students is like crazy.
Yeah.
It's a complete breakdown, right? It's just like it's in terms where you can say, "Oh, okay, I see what you're saying."
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
It's like that's literally someone breaking it down to the science.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So let's shift over to sports gambling because NBA is popping right now.
Ooh.
And I mean, over football because I don't really know football and I don't really know baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Packing parlays on NBA season is fucking fun, bro.
Yeah, dude. You put that parlay in, hoping like you can make a couple coins.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's a thrill. Like when it comes to the last leg, I mean, it's definitely a thrill and something that I enjoy. You got to learn to play with funny money. It's like funny money. You already know you're going to lose. So let's put it on something. I've had my experiences though. I've learned the hard way.
You got to play what you can afford to lose. That's all it is.
Exactly. But sometimes you're in the moment, you're like, fuck it.
I think for me, the worst that got me was I was on Bovada and like the sports gambling picks and stuff. I mean, I'm pretty smart about that, but the casino games is when I'm kind of they get me on that, you know. And I was on the couch on Bovada, and I was like, damn, they got blackjack. Shit. I'll be up like I'll be up 250 in 5 minutes. I'm like, all right, let's keep going. I'll be like down 300 in like 30 minutes. Be like, shit, I'm gonna fuck this phone, bro.
I know, man. Yeah, dude, I've done that too, man. I mean, through my bookie's website, there used to be an option for like digital casino, and like I was just playing like $5, but then you're just by yourself in your room on the laptop. $5 every hand will add up if you're not winning. Yeah, that's crazy. Like the way gambling is like more mainstream now. Like all those dudes like Drake, like just putting his roulette online, like with stake, or dudes playing on. Like you see like crazy parlays, like dudes are hitting like $15 to win like a couple of G's just off some random like really lucky shit. So, I mean, making the scene.
It's a thing that's been going on kind of low key for a while. It just like obviously it's been like a successful like aspect of sports and making money. So it's already established. So now it's being kind of mainstream and in the limelight. It's like a proven product, you know what I mean, to make money and tax off. What do you guys think about it?
But I mean, that's also the perfect time to do that because we're at a time where people are trying to make money.
Yeah.
And people are desperate for money. So now it's definitely a good place for people to get sucked in and possibly lose more money if they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Exactly. Yeah. It could be dangerous if you're not smart with your decisions. But the flip side, if you do like a lot of research and you really stick to a unit plan that works for you and you can afford, and you grow your bankroll that way, I mean, you can make some serious cash.
Yeah, I think the reason why I don't do it is because I'm afraid to lose my money. I like my money.
Yeah.
But then when I win money, I'm like, fuck yeah. Because like, I hit the tables in Vegas. I'm like, I'm fucking winning. But if I lose $100, I'm in a bad mood.
I feel that. I think if you get into this, you just got to know what you're getting into. And
exactly,
you gotta be prepared. Like, I mean, Andrew and Joel know, like, there's some weeks like you'll lose 100 and then weeks you'll make 300 and it's just being consistent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't win them all, but hopefully you're getting most of it.
Yeah.
Andrew, how's your experience
it's tough,
with sports gambling? You're kind of the newest inductee.
Currently more losses than wins, but hopefully we change that.
What's like a favorite sport you like to? I know, Andrew, like you like to bet on the golf, like the top 20, and you said
like top 20, whatever, top 5 in golf.
Yeah.
Like McIlroy's just the complete opposite of an underdog now. He's like minus 300 something at most of these things, but I just like pick guys out. I'm like, yeah, I think he'll be top 20 and things like that. So, or just outright wins if I'm.
Yeah, sometimes those are fun too. I mean, you get good odds on a guy. It's like plus 150. Like, yeah, sure, that seems reasonable. He's not like a huge underdog to not make top 20, right? So, yeah, those bets are smart.
What is your process of like making your picks? Because I know some people pay for picks. Some people fucking observe spreadsheets. Some people pay attention to like interviews, social media, you know what I mean? See what's going on. And some people like Andrew just goes like, oh, I think they'll win, you know?
I heard of this guy. He sounds like he's good.
No, for me, like you were saying, I would go on these websites and pay like a subscription just to kind of like look at picks. And even then, I wouldn't know what the fuck I'm doing. I was like, oh, okay, so this is the pick. So
I've had my experiences with buying picks, but I think the first time I did it, I was just like every pick they sent out, I just followed it. And there was a good month where it was good, and then there was a month where it got bad. So with every pick, you got to do your own research too, and not just follow it blindly. So yeah, I mean, but in terms of my thought process, there's a lot of things, man. Like for basketball, I gotta check like how many games have they played in a week already? Like, are they on a back to back? Are they on the road? Is anybody sitting out? The history between like you got. I mean, when you make these picks, at least for me, I've learned to like make it more of an educated guess rather than just like like well, story time. Like I got fucked when the Lakers played the Rockets like in 2020. As soon as Clint Capella got traded to the Hawks and their Rockets were going to start PJ Tucker at the 5. I was like, there's no fucking way Lakers lose this game. So I put like a couple $100 on it, thinking that was easy money. And then the fucking Rockets just destroyed the Lakers that day. So I was just like,
PJ Tucker went off, remember?
Yeah, like Harden went off. I was like, what the? I didn't do my research. I didn't know that like Lakers had a hard time against smaller teams historically that season. I just thought like AD's big, PJ Tucker small. That should be easy money.
Yeah.
So after that tough loss, I mean, you just gotta really do your research. I mean, even with football, you gotta check the weather. Like,
yeah, that's true.
Man, you know all the concepts.
Weather's big in football. Weather's a big thing.
Like, do certain quarterbacks like indoors, or do they perform well outdoors too? Like, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, can you throw in the rain?
Yeah. I mean, and it's crazy. There's websites out there that give that data too. That there's actually keep track of all that. So yeah, you just gotta dig deep. What else can you look for? I mean, another thing I've been looking into too is how much money is on a certain team. The term Vegas always wins is house always wins. So if you look at certain games and let's say I forget, like, okay, just this past weekend it was Bucks versus the Panthers and fucking Bucks lost. But if you look at how much money was on the Bucks, like the percentage of bets, it was like 80% of money was on the Bucks, and then
big money,
and then they lost. So I mean, I don't want to say it's rigged, but for some reason it just, I mean, granted there are times when the public is right, but you just have to like really pick and choose. It
was kind of like what when DraftKings put that boost on Justin Herbert, and then he threw 55 passes, did not throw a single touchdown against the Broncos defense. Like that was crazy, and people were like, this shit's rigged.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I was at that game too. I didn't bet on that specific thing, but it's not like he wasn't trying to not do that.
It's just it was a good defense. That's all it is.
The defense is a tier 5, is a top tier defense. I mean, if it weren't for their stupid offense, Broncos would have a lot more wins right now.
No, 100%. Like that defense is wasted on that terrible offense.
Yeah, I feel bad for their defense, dude. They do such a good job, but they got to come back out in like 4 downs, 3 downs because Russell Wilson can't cook.
Yeah, or I think it's also Hackett, honestly, but whatever.
Man, if you do this pretty in depth, it's hard not to think the shit's rigged, bro. Some of the over unders, some of the props, some of the lines, they are exact, bro.
Here's what you got to know though: anytime there's money involved, there's a little something going on.
Yeah,
anytime, because the big hands, especially with people with like millions of dollars in this shit, they got some sort of influence on how this shit turns out.
Oh yeah, I believe that 100%, man. Spread, even in basketball, spreads you could call a stupid foul at the end of the game, or and that 2.
It happens all the time too.
Yeah, I think even over the weekend, like when Lakers played the Clippers, the spread was -5.5, and then the Lakers lost by 6. So if you had Clippers -5.5, you won exactly. You barely won. If you had Lakers +5.5, you barely lost.
Yeah. Crazy. We were watching that game too, Andrew, at Hooters. That Lakers Clippers.
Damn.
Lakers and the Clippers, yeah.
So, I mean, refs have gotten in trouble before for like,
throwing games,
throwing games and having money on games and stuff. So it is.
You seen that documentary on Netflix about the guy who did that shit? That shit's crazy.
I need to watch that. What was the name of the
Here, I'll look it up for you. But I was watching it. It was pretty good.
Yeah, like if you see a kink on the armor, it's like, huh? You know what I mean? Like if you see the strings on the flying person, it's like, oh, that shit ain't real. This shit's kind of rigged now. But that's why I like betting on UFC, because it's like, I know this fool's not trying to lose on some bullshit, you know? So he's trying to come out and just knock this fool out fast.
Yeah.
And the only bullshit I do see is when it goes to decision. And I feel like that's when it's like, oh, shit. The guy who's getting pushed is finally going to, you know, win on some bullshit.
I didn't do much following up on over the fight weekend, but I know there's like a big controversy over Sean O'Malley beating Peter.
Yeah.
It was a split decision. I didn't look into stats, but like as a UFC bettor, what do you feel about that?
I had Peter Yan as a parlay, but I had Sean O'Malley on a single bet, so I didn't give a fuck.
Win's a win.
Yeah, but honestly, if you track down the stats, it's bullshit because control time, I think it was 5 minutes to 2 minutes, you know, or 5 minutes to even 45 seconds, and then takedowns was 5 takedowns to 0 takedowns, or 5 to 1 takedown. But the significant strike was probably like 50 something to 60 something. So
there you go. It's called Operation Flagrant Foul. My bad, but that's what it's called, Operation Flagrant Foul.
Oh shit! I gotta check that. That's about the ref throwing.
It's about the referee who, he was throwing games for
like Tim Donahue or something.
Yeah, exactly. Tim Donahue. Yeah, it's about how he would for betting games because he was betting on games, so he would officiate games in his favor.
Oh shit! Damn, crazy.
Yeah, but just to finish off that topic, Sean O'Malley is kind of the guy that they're pushing now because he's kind of like Nelk Boy-ish, you know, and like Dana White has his boner for Nelk Boys now.
It's weird.
Fucking weird, right? Like it's so
weird, right? Like it's a bunch of boys. I mean, they're adults. Granted, they're adults, but it's just weird.
I mean, no disrespect, but like I don't know, it's just not what it
I like Happy Dads.
This is just not what he
Same.
Happy Dad is delicious.
See right here.
Oh shit! There you go.
So,
shit, man.
That's why they're saying they pushed Sean O'Malley over Peter Yan. But hey, did that guy did that ref get in trouble for that? Like, what happened with that? Spoilers.
Yeah, so pretty much like when he got caught, like he got. I mean, I don't want to spoil it, but pretty much, he got caught up, and that's why he's not reffing. You know, he lost all that. The reffing license, like he can't officiate shit anymore. But yeah, he did face punishment, and that's why that documentary came out to kind of explain like he does what he did. That's what fucking happened to him.
Damn.
I mean, like I said, anytime there's money involved in something, someone's making it go in their favor somehow, some way.
I was about to say, like, if you guys were athletes, would you guys, if like a mob person hit you up, like, hey, tonight, I know it's a big night, but I'm gonna need you to throw the fight or throw the game tonight, right? I'll give you like 10 million on top of what you're paying, and plus I'll guarantee you a long-term contract wherever you want. Just Would you guys?
But if I don't do that, will I die?
What's the consequence if I don't?
I mean, this is the first time. This is the first time it's brought up to you, so you don't know. You know, they could, but they could just leave you alone and be mad. So it's kind of scary.
If I'm an athlete,
are you gonna kill me?
Because that shit happens probably. That shit does probably happen, you know.
Oh yeah, I mean the mob, like back in the day, they were controlling college basketball games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think they'd kill you, but I think they'd ruin every opportunity for you going forward.
Yeah,
for sure.
Get you caught up with some sex scandals, like this guy tried doing this, fuck up your life.
You guys would do it?
I mean, I don't know what. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna take my chance and say no. No, I got too much integrity. If I'm making millies already,
they can't do shit to you.
Yeah, I don't even get paid more to throw a game.
Tiger Woods way, man.
But on the flip side, if I was like a college athlete, like these mob bosses are taking advantage of kids, I might be down.
Oh yeah, in college, if you weren't sure you're going to make it to the NBA, I think I would do it. I was like, fuck it, let's go. You're going to give me 10 mil?
Yeah.
You guys want to hear a conspiracy theory?
Oh,
sure.
Here we go.
It's not a cave podcast without Jarrell bringing conspiracy theories into it every time, right?
Dark.
Yeah, it's true.
Dark. Who are the two people in the NBA that are known for being the most competitive? No, if you ask them this question, they'll be like, "Fuck no, I'm the best."
Right now, playing now, or in history?
All time.
Oh, MJ,
Jordan.
MJ and Kobe.
Michael.
What happened to them? Dad, MJ's dad, Kobe Bryant,
murdered,
Kobe Bryant.
dead.
Brian died.
I think those were the two who are like, nah, fuck that. I'm about greatness. You know, you see people like LeBron, you see people like Kevin Durant. Those fools, just, you know, they would be like, I'll throw a game, I'll do this. I think Kobe and MJ was already known that he kind of got involved with mobs, and he's
Gambling.
kind of in the gambling scene. You know what I mean? And his father's
Yeah.
death was kind of, I mean, people.
It's still
who
a
look into
mystery.
it- yeah, but people who look into it would say mob, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And he took, you know, some time off basketball, whatever he wants to say.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I mean, like, if we go talk about the Kobe Bryant stuff and his kind of thing, you know, Francis, we talked about it. I don't want to get into it,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's just a conspiracy theory. It doesn't need to be true. Just like look into it. But it's pretty
Yeah.
crazy that though, like
No,
you
that's
said,
an interesting concept.
I don't even need to say it. You knew it. Kobe and MJ were the two people you would know that'd be like, nah, fuck that. Like, we're gonna win because you know what I mean. My legacy means more than some flow. I'll make the flow some other way.
But I
Yeah.
think that's the point of conspiracy theories, right? It's supposed to get people thinking outside the box than what's presented to them. You know,
True.
kind
Yeah.
of think freely, but it doesn't need to be true, like you said. But it kind of gets people to think differently
Mm.
and kind of formulate their own conclusion to it. There could be some mob shit to it.
Yeah.
Or it could be that Michael Jordan's dad was really just tired. He pulled over to the side. He was driving a nice Mercedes and he was on the side of the road, and someone said, "Hey, that guy's just on the side. Let's go fucking rob that guy."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Kobe just had a very incompetent fucking helicopter pilot.
Yeah.
The thing about Kobe
Yeah.
Bryant, though, like as Francis knows, the thing we talked about, but the thing
Mhm.
that we do know that's fact that Jermaine knows about, and like that came out about the cops, and you know what I mean, the pictures and stuff.
Yeah,
It's so fucked up, dude. Like,
yeah.
if that theory
He was
is
showing
right
it off.
about why, and in this the post stuff, come on, dude. How are you
Mhm.
gonna do Mamba like that, bro?
Bro, it's so sad, bro.
It was because he's also the biggest name in basketball after Jordan, you know, and that cop had bragging rights at the bar to some random bitch, you know. He's like, "Hey, this is Kobe's body." It's like, what the fuck, bro? Like,
Yeah.
come on, man. There's no respect for the dead when you're a celebrity.
Yeah,
Crazy, man. Rest in peace, Kobe, bro.
Yeah, man.
but
That shit was like it was unreal hearing that shit that day. I was
Yeah.
like, what the
Bro, I was working at Smorgasburg, and like that's like a popular downtown LA event.
That's in the heart of the Lakers. Like,
Yeah.
And the vibe as soon as it came out was so eerie. It was so quiet.
mm,
Like, because everyone knew, like everyone was like, dude, one of my employees like was like started had to take a minute and like go to the bathroom. Like he probably maybe because he's a huge Kobe fan, and he had to like. I told him, I was like, bro, like this is real, and he's like, no fucking way.
yeah.
And just like everyone started asking us like, is Kobe really dead? And I'm like, dude, I think it's true, but I don't want to believe it. It was a weird vibe.
I'm pretty-
and that
I'm
was-
pretty-
yeah.
I'm pretty numb to death. Like, I can kind of control
Mm-hmm.
my composure, but Kobe Bryant made me tear up, man. I don't know if it's because of
Yeah.
fucking his last game where he scored 60. Is 60,
Mhm.
right? Or 61?
Yeah,
yeah.
60.
I think the
That's
part that
a-
made me kind of like
shoot.
sad about that was the fact that, you know, I'm a dad, and the fact that thinking about he had his daughter with him, it's like, what do you do?
Yeah.
What do you do with your child in that moment? You know, and that kind of made me sad, saying like he tried to hold on to his daughter, telling her it was going to be okay when he knew it wasn't,
Yeah.
you know? And that was just the sad part for me to hear is like, you know, his daughter was with him. And obviously there was other people in there and they didn't deserve to lose their lives either. But it's just like someone as iconic as Kobe and had such a huge outreach on people, you start to see these people who are so inspired by this man,
Yeah.
just sad. And that just tells you how big of an impact he made on these fans' lives.
His legacy will last forever, bro.
Yeah. And like, I even admit it's like, man, I feel so shitty for hating on him for so long just because he was a Laker, you know, but I was actually a big fan of his.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. I was a huge fan of his. I just wasn't a fan of the Lakers, and he was the easiest one to hate on
Yeah.
because there was. I mean, you could hate on Bynum. I was like, oh, yeah, I was fucking Bynum, you know.
Bynum's the homie, dude.
Yeah, it's just like but you hate Kobe because he'd play against your team and fucking wreck you. And you're like, I wish he was on my team.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, I think.
But yeah, like you said, it was an eerie day because it was gloomy.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was raining.
You know, and it was just like it's as if we all like woke up in a nightmare because it happened in the morning.
It's like one of my family members died because I got like my dad, my uncles calling and texting me.
Yeah, right.
We're all like super fans. I was like, dude, this is crazy. I didn't want to believe it. Like me and Johnny were like looking at each other like, no, this is fucking fake. We didn't want to believe it. And then just like after hour, more stuff just came in. We're like, fuck, dude, this is fucking heartbreaking.
Yeah, and the weird part about it too, right, is on Google when it happened, it said Kobe Bryant was assassinated, and then they fucking changed that shit real quick. You guys should look that up. That's a fact.
Really?
Yeah.
Gotta look that up.
But yeah, that goes into what Francis and I were talking about. I don't want to talk about that now because I feel like that deserves like its own episode. But
yeah, that's like a whole other conversation.
But
teaser for that
Kobe episode.
when all is said and done, I feel like when Michael Jordan passes and like when our grandkids are around, I feel like Kobe at this point, I don't know, it's all about numbers and championship, but if you look at the details of his career, I feel like Kobe's is more of a lasting, more impressionable story than MJ is. You know what I mean? I mean, not to compare the two, but I feel like Kobe would rank up a little bit higher than MJ as a individual basketball
I can see
player.
that argument.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I could see that argument because he played, and the one thing that MJ did, he kind of quit in a little. You know, I didn't say he quit, but he retired. You know, and it makes you wonder, like, what would have happened if he kept playing? But that didn't happen for Kobe. He fucking just kept going at it.
Yeah.
So that's why I could see that argument of like Kobe being above MJ in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
Top Kobe moments, guys.
You know what sucks? You know what sucks? I was the night before Kobe, the news of Kobe passing away, I was on eBay trying to buy his Olympic jersey because I wanted to buy that jersey because, like, you know, I always tell people, like, yeah, I hated Kobe, but I would subtly show I was a fan. Like, I'd wear number 10, that's his Olympic number. I wore Kobe 4s, those are his shoes, you know. But
did you guys watch the Olympic Redeem Team thing on Netflix?
Fuck yeah, I did. Kobe was so badass in that shit. Kobe's a man, bro.
The story of like him knowing the play that Pau Gasol's going to set a screen on him, and he just
lays him out.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah.
I was like, dude.
Oh, that on Instagram. I'm like, oh, that's cold as fuck.
Because he's trying to win. He don't give a fuck. You're not on his team anymore, so I'm gonna do whatever it takes.
Yeah, dude. Fucking trucked him, bro. Like hit stick Madden style, bro.
Yeah. But favorite Kobe moments, like Jarrell said, what's your guys' favorite Kobe moment?
Shit, dude.
Hold up. Fun fact.
For me,
Andrew took Kobe Bryant's order at In-N-Out once. It's pretty fucking cool.
Yes, he did. Yeah. He did.
Yeah. Back when I worked at the UCI In-N-Out.
I heard he worked out at UCI too, right?
Oh,
I actually do have a story for that because I've seen him there.
Yeah, I seen him there too. He was working out, and his bodyguard was just like, "All right, everybody, get the fuck out." It's like, yes, it's Kobe Bryant.
Yeah,
but yeah, dude, I was just like, it was like some August, some summer month or whatever, and then I was just saw this Escalade pull up, and slowly I'm like, you know who drives Escalades? Typically some important people, and then, I was starstruck. But it's a good thing that I had done this job a billion times, so I knew how to keep my composure and just take his orders. He had a motherfucking it was double grilled onions with Dr. Pepper. It was so long ago. It was $5.64. That's how long. When number ones were $5.64. Pepperidge
Farms remembers. Yeah, I remember seeing him at the UTC. Yeah, because he was there, and I remember. I don't know if you guys remember my friend Amit, the Indian guy I played basketball with sometimes. You know, he hung out with Samit, but we were at the UTC. We were eating food, and then like people were like going crazy, like, "Dude, Kobe's here!" Kobe. I was like, "Shut the fuck up, Kobe's out here!" And also, you see this guy walking. He's wearing like this red like jumpsuit. Like he was, it looked like he was just shooting around at the, because he would practice at UCI. I know that, and he was walking through, and Amit had his phone. I was like, Kobe, and he looked right at us, and everyone else. He's like, don't talk to me, and he walked away. I was like, wow.
Exactly what his face looked like when I was taking his order. It's like he knew that I wanted to ask for his autograph, but I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, no, he's like, don't talk to me to everyone. I was like, okay. And that was kind of a point where I was like, man, what a dick.
I know. I felt like even like before, like number 8 Kobe was not very approachable, but I think as he grew older, especially into his career, he was like, all right, let me be a little more open. And I mean, because back then I would never think Kobe would actually teach younger players his moves.
Mm-hmm.
Now he has Kyrie. He was training Kyrie, Kawhi, DeMar DeRozan, fucking PG. Like he was holding camps. Like there was like D-Book pulling up. I was like, yo, like this is amazing.
Mm-hmm. And that's what kind of sucks. We're not going to see that side of Kobe, you know. And I was kind of excited because he had the academy and everything, and he was teaching kids. I was like, dude, this is gonna be tight. He's gonna teach the next wave of kids to play like him, and we're not going to see that.
Yeah. I was hoping to see Gigi in the WNBA just mark people.
That would have been cool, right? You know, like we thought she would be playing for the Huskies and all that, and then, you know, but that's just life. It's weird.
I think my favorite Kobe moment is probably the Orlando Magic series. The job not done.
That was a good.
And then that fucking freak shot cocked back to the other. That was on Dwight Howard, right?
Yeah, Dwight Howard talks about it. He was like trying to block him, and Kobe just hung in the air, moved the ball from his right to his left, and then back to his right hand, and just shot it. It's insane.
If you appreciate the Michael Jordan like shot changes, that's one shot to check out, man. That shot was incredible.
Yeah. I think for me it was that Phoenix Suns game winner. I know we lost that series, but why it was so crazy to me, because I had a basketball game for like my club team on that Sunday. Like I know it's Sunday because they're wearing the Sunday whites, and the motherfuckers went to overtime. I'm like, fuck, dude, I have a game. So my dad just put on ESPN 710, listening to overtime, and then as soon as we get to my game, like, he pulls up, it's in, bang! I'm just like going crazy in my car. I don't give a fuck about my game at this point. Like me and my dad are just like fucking high-fiving each other. So it was like a moment. Yeah, we won. Like, dude, it's crazy. I'm listening to this shit on the radio like it was like the 1950s or some shit. And then I played my game, and I don't even remember how I played or if I won that game. I just remember that moment, like going to my game, listening to the radio, like super on edge, like hoping we pull this out. Because I was, like all of us were. That was like one of his first years after Shaq, so you're really pulling for him, prove everybody that he can do it without Shaq, and then you go up 3-1. And for me, I was like, dude, it's money in the bank. I think we had classmates at Beckman that were Phoenix Suns fans. I was like, wait to like rub it in their face.
Yeah.
I think you knew. I forgot who it was, but there was one of the guys, and yeah, it was Chad, yeah. And then they came back and beat us. And I was like, fucking Chad's not going to stop talking now. My favorite Kobe moment. Just like,
just a lot for me. I think like obviously his final game is a top moment for everyone because who the fuck saw that coming? Like, it was a good send off for his career. It was so great. But if I was to pick something, I think it's when he dropped 62 at the Garden. You remember that shit?
Oh yeah, that was dope. That
was such a great game, and I remember watching that and just saying, "Fuck, this is another double nickel kind of game," Like it was fucking dope. Or the one where he forgot where he dunks right on Yao Ming, and that same game he scored 52.
That was crazy.
It's unreal how crazy, like how many great games this guy had, and how he went 3 months, months straight, averaging 40 points a game. Like, what the fuck?
Dude, if he was playing in today's game, he'd be getting like 50, 60 easy.
Yeah.
The way they call fouls now. Like,
yeah. Because he knew how to draw that shit too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And it was like way more physical back in, I think towards like the end of his career is when the NBA kind of started to shift to a more and stop the hand checking and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, dude, he was going off. What's your guys' favorite Kobe game winner?
Ooh,
And I said the Phoenix Suns is like my favorite Kobe moment, but I have a favorite game winner. Just the moment was more just like shared a moment with my pops. I was on the way to a game.
Mhm.
What's your guys' favorite like game winner?
Man,
God, that's a good one.
yeah, it's
because
hard.
there's so many fucking game winners.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm trying to think, but I'm probably gonna go with the Dwayne Wade one, because that game was.
That's what I was thinking
competitive, bro.
about. Yeah, that's the same one that came to my head where he banked that in. Remember?
And I'll be real. I mean,
Bro,
Kobe, I don't think you thought that was gonna go in either, bro. Kobe
He chucked
threw
it up.
shit
He chucked that shit
sideways.
up.
He
I know.
threw that shit sideways.
Yeah.
Dude.
And you know, like when you slow that shit down, it's crazy. When he catches the ball, you can see him look at the opposite end of the court to look up at the clock. Because the way he catches it with his back to the basket, so he doesn't really know how much time is left.
Oh wow.
So when you see him, like, if you go on YouTube, check that out. You see him look up real quick, and then now he knows how many dribbles he can take to like create that. And then, I mean, it's a lucky shot, but he still squared his fucking shoulders to it and tossed that up and to give it the best lucky shot he can get, and it fucking went in.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, if you go check it out, it's on Dwayne Wade and the Heat, and like if you look at the story of like the Heat eventually becoming the one, like it ages well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I think my favorite was that one in Portland when he
The one where he gets that foul and he fucking
that one was
gets another
so
three
crazy.
in.
Yeah.
That shit was sick. And the commentators were silent.
Dude, that was the best part because it was like Kobe with a 3, and then nothing. They just didn't say anything after that. And
Yeah, they were just like fuck because it was in Portland, right? Right.
It was in Portland. It was to clinch like the Pacific Division. I mean, we don't really care about division titles, but still, that was like insane to like do that, catch it on a fadeaway, and like I think it was Theo Ratliff like running out at him, like
Yeah.
Damn,
like, you can't like at that like he couldn't even see the basket, dude. Yeah, so that was my favorite because it was in Portland, and the way he just like yells after, just like fuck, it's so like beast mode, just like fuck you guys, I told you I'm one fuck.
Dude, yeah. That was what I was thinking about, but since you said that, I think I'm gonna go with the one against the Nuggets. You guys remember that one?
Oh, when he faced John Barry out.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. He had the pump fake and had that little time to shoot and fucking I was like, what the fuck?
Bro, I think that game, I could be wrong, but I think that's the year when he was having trouble with a court case in Colorado or whatever.
I think it was, yeah.
I remember, I think he came late to that game.
He got
Like no warm
from a helicopter, right?
anything.
Or something.
Yeah, like he came late, like got in at the second quarter, and then he drilled that shit without even like stretching or warming up. Like it's pretty insane, dude. Like,
Yeah. There was like 2 seconds or something left, I remember, and then he fucking baked them and drained it. I was like, whoa.
yeah, that was sick.
Andrew, you got one?
We took all the good ones already.
Shit.
He's had plenty though. Like it's hard to pick really.
Yeah.
But that Portland's probably number one for me.
Yeah, that one was probably the most difficult shot ever, dude. That shot was crazy.
Yeah.
Or I think it was the one before.
Because the game
that
looked
where
over,
where he pump
honestly.
faked, right? Where he pump fake and pivoted.
Yeah.
Was that the shot before
Yeah,
that?
yeah. That was a shot before that to send it to overtime, and then the one over Theo Ratliff was the game winner.
Yeah.
Damn, yeah, that was crazy.
That shit was crazy, man.
All right, let's wrap it up. Francis, thanks for coming on.
Ooh.
We had fun. We had a blast having you on, my man. Where can we find you on
Thanks for
social
having me
media?
on.
Plug in your stuff, brother.
Yeah, follow us at Lobsterdamus. Pretty self-explanatory, but we also have another Filipino food concept called Monopo.
Yeah.
It's good. I've ordered plenty of that.
Oh yeah, thank you. It's eat.monopo. Find us at the main event. You can find us at Smorgasburg, LA, downtown LA. If you want to follow me on Instagram, Francis Reyes, extra S at the end. Pretty simple.
right.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Thanks for having me. This is fun.
Yeah, no,
Let's
it
do
was
this
cool,
again.
man.
Yeah, we'll do this again, my man. Thanks for having us on. I'm so high as fuck right now. All right, guys, take it easy.
All right.
Good night.
Thanks for
All right.
coming.
Peace.
Later, guys.
Well,
Thanks,
I see ya.
guys. Thank you.